Thank God he's still here. Oh my God. Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of MLB The Show 25 here on Tisbury 33 Games channel. And I am recording, this is the first recording since the Rafael Devers trade in real life. Now, I'll take a second just to explain my thoughts. It's dumb. It's not good. Rafael Devers has been, even just take away the video game, right? These are real life numbers right here. He has been one of the few homegrown talents the Red Sox have developed and decided to attach themselves to. I think guys who have been drafted or internationally signed, basically brought up their entire lives as Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia is the last one to get drafted or again onto the team in that capacity and then stay there for a while. This is a guy who is a top 5 to 15 hitter in the league, depending on the year. Has been, is a 3,100 guy, has played hurt. I think it was a mistake that the front office did this. Craig Breslow got his feelings hurt. I think that is what it is. Look at this, 2019, 311 batting average, 916 OPS. 32 home runs, 38 home runs, 33 home runs. Obviously, we've seen what he's done in games, 44, 46, 47, already up to 24 so far. Video game, I get it. But, these are, if you just looked at this as his career stats without telling us it's a video game, you'd be like, yeah, I see that. Devers is nasty. He was going to be a guy that's going to have his number retired here. A guy that was going to be Steve Peralt from Section 10, if you guys watch the Section 10 podcast, statue guy. And listen to the stats, looking at the stats, he's on pace to do Carl Yastrzemski, Ted Williams type stuff. And unfortunately, he's ripped from us. Now, could he have handled the situation better? Yes. If Craig Breslow has handled the situation better? Fuck yes. But anyway, Rafael Devers, best of luck in San Francisco. It kind of sucks. I literally was so depressed Sunday into Monday. I didn't do anything. But anyway, we move on. In real life, but in the game, we will never leave our son Rafael Devers out to dry. Just wanted to address that. But we do have an episode to come out and do. And this is our July episode. This is where we have the draft. This is where we have the trade deadline, the All-Star festivities, and what's not. First off, let's kind of look at our team and what we have going. Let's start by the lineups and pitching rotation. In terms of the lineups, I think I'm pretty fine of what it is. Jarren Duran, having back-to-back not great seasons, not great. Power has been there for Duran already, basically matching a lot of his power numbers from last year in terms of doubles and home runs and 60 less games, but just hasn't had that same oomph. Hasn't really stolen a lot of bases, been striking out a whole lot. Again, this is the last year of Jarren Duran. Next year, we do plan on letting him go. Been a 3-time All-Star, twice in this series. Obviously, that All-Star MVP coming in real life. But he's been awesome. He's been great, but the last 2 years just haven't been, the 280 guy with 30 stolen bases and 16 home runs and 40 doubles and an 830 OPS. That's what he was coming in. This was last 3 years where last two has been just different. Do we move him down in the lineup? I don't think we move off of him. Do we move him down in the lineup? Try another leadoff man. Alex Bregman, he's been awesome. A little resurgence this year. Again, in about half the games, has put up very similar production already, especially with the power numbers. You see that 30-point jump in slugging, which helps the 20-point jump in OPS. Again, we assigned him to a $16 million contract we have for him this year and next year. Rafael Devers, don't get me started. Roman Anthony, we just did the series with him, and he's been awesome. And he's really finally starting to break out and having an MVP, not MVP, but an All-Star type season, and would love for him to be an All-Star here soon. Connor Wong, definitely not the same fire as last year, but still a serviceable catcher and still fairly decent. Soderstrom up due to the lack of Tristan Casas in our life. Maybe we give Jordan Walker first base eligibility. I think he does. He can play first base, but at the moment, we'll keep Soderstrom. But Jordan Walker also, this is a guy that has, when he's been playing, has been very, very, very good. Kind of wanting to get him in the lineup more, and maybe after saying that out loud, we do experiment with him at first base. We also have Rafael Devers, We moved him to first base. Do we just throw him in the field and then put Walker at DH? Who knows? Christian Campbell has been heating up as of late. Recent games, 324 his last 10 games, 2 home runs. Every year it seems like we're out there going to get a second baseman. We are going to stick with Soup here. Marcelo Meyer. Recent games have not been great. His season has not been fantastic. Losing a lot against lefties, which was somewhat of a strong suit for him the last couple of years, but he doesn't really play against lefties due to Rodolfo Castro. Cedon Rafaela, again, really good power numbers, really basically career high in home runs already, and we're only 90 games into the season. But what he gives defensively, whatever he gives offensively, just a bonus. So overall, what am I trying to say? The offense is probably going to stay the same for the most part. I think we have good backups where we need good backups at. Our plan against lefties and righties is pretty solid. Maybe we try Jordan Walker at DH, Rafael Devers at first base while Tristan Casas is here. If we look at the injury report and what we have going on, Dominique Alez and DJ Park are close to returning. Johnny Turner out for the year again. Dislocated ankle means he got elbow surgery. And then, torn calf for Tristan Casas. He has basically his full 60-day stint left to go. He was having a hell of a season. And now that I'm thinking about it out loud and talking about it out loud, we are going to make that change with Rafael Devers playing the field, something he would never do ever in real life, ever apparently. We will be making this move. And Jordan Walker will be DHing for us, at least at the moment. No other place for him. And we really want to get Jordan Walker in there. I think he's better than Soderstrom. I don't think that's too much of a hot take, and really offers... It's fine. The other thing is we really only have Juan Yepes who can play the outfield on the bench. We do have Christian Campbell. They can move around. We did take away outfield eligibility from Marcelo Meyer. We got some things. I think we can move some stuff around in case some guys gets hurt, some guys get tired. But for the next while, we will roll with Jordan Walker. I don't know why I didn't think about that sooner. 2 games with us so far. Already a home run for Soderstrom, but he'll be on the bench. Basically, another first base catcher type. Maybe even look at somebody else. Maybe we do look at, now with that realization up with us, maybe we do look at a Weston Wilson to come up and play more of a utility role. But we will figure that out. I'm sure I'll come into a situation regardless. Pitching rotation-wise, I think this is where we want to upgrade. It's always been the pitching staff. After missing out on Sandy Alcantara and some of the other guys in free agency, the pitching staff, at least overall on paper, doesn't look fantastic. Garrett Crochet continues to be Garrett Crochet. Brian Bayo, a 4.3 ERA. Gavin Stone, a 4.2 ERA. Connolly Early has been awesome, but it's also a 72 overall Connolly Early. I'm sure he's going to get stuck with the bad start here or there. Just really one so far has been pretty good besides that. But how long was that going to last? And then Norihiyashi has been fine, but over recently has been hit around a little bit. So maybe another starter, or we think we have some good prospect profile capital to load off if we want to. The bullpen, we've had some ups, we've had some downs for the most part. I think we're set there. So really it's a starter if we can, and let's see what the stats tell us in terms of where we rank. Batting average, we are 3rd, but we do have our best hitter in terms of average on the shelf for 2 months. If we look at runs, we're scoring the 7th most runs. Hits, 4th. Doubles, 6th. Triples, I mean, I really give a shit about triples. Home runs, 2nd. RBI, we 7th. Stolen bases, I mean, it's other than Durant, we really have much in the stolen base department, which I do want to add to this team. Are we last? We are dead last. Only Jaron Durant steals bases, which is funny. But we also don't get caught stealing very often. Slugging or stolen base percentage based on balls. Are we walking a good amount? Are we walking a bit? Middle of the road. So if we get a bat, maybe someone that can get on base a little more. Are we striking out a whole bunch? No, we are not. Towards the bottom, 3rd in strikeouts and near the top in slugging. Near the top in on base. Near the top of total bases. So the offense looks like it has been fine. Errors. Are we making a lot of errors in the field? Looks like we aren't a really good defensive team. Are we the worst? Oh, we're one of the worst defensive teams in the league, actually. In fielding percentage, we are 2nd to last. So maybe try to upgrade defensively somewhere. But obviously, with how good our offense has been, it really hasn't been much focus. Even with saying, hey, we want a good starting pitcher, we're still 11th in ERA. We have a good amount of saves so far with Felix Bautista, middle of the road, blown saves. We're not blowing many saves when you get those opportunities. Hits allowed, 11th runs allowed, 9th earned runs, 12th home runs. We are giving up a decent amount of home runs. That's one of the things. We're not walking a lot of guys, though. We do have guys with good walks per 9, and we're striking out a whole bunch. Obviously, a lot of that heavy lifting by Garrett Crochet. So, yeah. So, it looks like we have another really, really good team. Obviously, 11 games over 500. If we look forward, I think we have a really favorable rest of the year. I don't think we play too many good teams. Just one team with a winning record here. The rest of this month will obviously two teams. We have Texas and then Seattle. We play twice with Minnesota. So 2 to 3 teams we'll say that. Let's say then San Diego's not good. San Francisco's not good. Los Angeles not good. Brewers not good. Cubs not good. Phillies, I guess, are okay, but they're more a 500 team. Cleveland, same thing. Pirates, worse. Rays and Orioles are good here. These Orioles series are going to be important down the stretch for who's going to win the division. We got Chicago, New York, Oakland, or Las Vegas. Yeah, we don't have a lot of really good teams left. Let's go out there. The next thing we do is probably going to be the draft, and we'll see you then. Let's see where we can get, who we can get here. But yeah, definitely am excited about what this trade deadline can hold. All right. We are ready to go here in the MLB draft. We have pick number 30 after winning the World Series. Just all the guys we have at least a little bit scouted. There are some gems. These aren't in like order of who we want. I'll kind of go back and show some of the guys that we're really excited about and hopefully that we can end up coming away with in this draft. But yeah, it should be interesting. We did a good amount of baseline on a lot of guys. There are a few guys, a guy like Michael Ramo, Joe Nunn, Jung-Hoo Kwan, that we really put a full effort into, but we got at least a little bit on a whole bunch of players. There are a couple of guys that either not ranked or really low on the boards that have really good potential thresholds. Obviously, again, you want to get as much potential in this draft as you can. That's the name of the game. Teddy Penn probably is going to be gone, but we had him at least 54% scouted. I figured I'd throw him on the board just in case. Jesse Healy is very interesting. Looks like a guy that can help right away as an outfielder. 5'11" from Pennsylvania. Really good arm profile, decent speed, and looks like he's going to have a really well-rounded bat. Our 6th ranked guy, draft rank 47. This guy is a guy I'd love to take if like a couple of our other guys aren't there. But Jesse Healy, the first guy that really going to make big note of. Josh Fuentes, another guy. He is a high schooler, second baseman, can also play third base. Really good contact profile, really good vision, it looks like, right out of the gate. Looks like the potential range could be decent. Only 65% scouting, so it could be a little bit more of a risk. So maybe another guy that if a lot of our options are off the board, this is who we go after. Tom Friedman's interesting. Is injured, though, I believe. So that really, again, puts him down towards the end of the board of guys we can take first, maybe even second with our pick. If he's there in our third pick, yeah, I think I'd like to take the chance. But doesn't really throw particularly hard. 2 fastballs, a changeup, and a slider. Looks like hits per 9 is his best attribute other than stamina. But looks like he has good potential threshold. David McCormick, probably one of my favorite guys so far early on. Throws decently hard with a slider, barely touching 90. Sinker, fastball, sinker, 4-seam, and curveball. Good variance on speeds between the sinker and the fastball. Could be up to 10 miles per hour difference on the low end to high end. Master of none, jack of all trades type guy, but has a really good potential profile. He looks like he's going to be guaranteed to be at least good and 103rd on the draft rank, so that could probably be a guy we look at for our second pick, but also a decent contender for our first pick as well. So same thing with Woodrow Huerta. Incredible arm. Bat's okay. 5'9", good potential range. Going to be a B to a low A regardless. Switch hitter as well, which is interesting. 21 years old. Looks like he won't have, even if he's on the high end of potential, which we hope, won't have too much time sitting around in the minor leagues. Looking around as well, Woody Bernard has an interesting profile. Maybe a guy that, if he slips, he's someone that we're interested in. But again, we'll have good potential ranges. Michael Ramo, definitely a guy that we're looking at left field. Again, probably have to be a while for him to develop, but has a little bit of a power bat to him. An 86 to 96 potential, a guy we definitely want to be targeting with our second pick, most likely just because of that potential. Scrolling through, Steven Dickens, also kind of in that same range. Going to be a while for him to get going. Is a catcher. We already have some good catchers, but the 80 to 93 potential will always stick out. And other than that, Cosmo Leon, another guy of that same caliber, would be a while for him. First base, we do need some first base help. Maybe a guy we target late. Johnny Adams as well. Not going to be good out of the box, but with that 99 potential speed, he could be pretty good, and that is going to do it. So a couple of guys we've identified. It'd be interesting to see who is there with our first pick, and we're going to have to be waiting a while. But we are ready for the MLB draft. Here we go. The first pick, the Los Angeles Angels decided to select Edgar Martinez or Ramirez. Wow. If they got Edgar Martinez, that'd be really good for them. But a second baseman we weren't too high on. He goes number 1. I think it's like the second or third straight year that the Angels have had the number 1 overall pick. Toby Brady, looks like he's going to be very good out of the box. Tampa Bay, he goes number 2. And third up on the list, number 3 draft pick to our Colorado Rockies, Sean Lewis. So a guy that we had not ranked, feel like he had a capped ceiling. But a couple of guys early on in this draft still available here in the draft. And Teddy Penn, the first guy to go. Really good walks guy. Fastball that can touch 98, cutter that gets up to the mid-90s, and a devastating curveball. Looks like would have been his best pitch. Jonah Lockwood, he was 6 on MLB's board, 5 on ours. Just kind of knew we weren't going to be in the range, but a nice 5-pitch mix with mostly no forcing fastball, which is interesting. Roberto Reyna, who we had as our number 1 guy, if we were picking number 1, probably would have been the pick at second base. I thought about maybe even throwing a scouting on him just to see how good he was going to be, but he goes to Toronto. Brian Woodward, he was falling on our board. He goes to Kansas City. And then John Fuentes, our 9th ranked guy, so this isn't a reach to us, but in terms of Major League Baseball, 26th rank. We'll see how good he is. Damian Villanueva really wasn't in our plans just because, but he could be a generational type prospect potentially. Julian Del Villar, he goes to the San Diego Padres. We weren't too very high on him, did a little bit of scouting on him. He was falling on our board. Jesse Healy, so this is probably one of those guys I was thinking with pick number 30. He is gone at 11. Again, just really well-rounded guy. Probably not like a superstar potential, but a definitely very solid player for a lot of years to come. Elliot Hillman, looks like another reach by Philadelphia. Rolando Barros, 18-year-old first baseman, a lot of potential. Looks like, again, one of those contact, plate vision guys, plate skills guys, but has some power due to being 6'5", 200 from a lot of Rolandos in Idaho, I bet. John Hansen, he goes here at number 14, and Raul Castro, he goes. So not too many guys of our top, I think 3 guys we had on our board have gone so far, but already looking like our first pick's going to be interesting, one we maybe didn't want to make. Bobby Barrett, he goes here, another first baseman that we didn't really put too much effort into, even though first base a position of need for us, I would say, at least organizationally. We have Costas in worst case Devers, but would like to kind of bump up that position for us. Carlos Ordonez, and then Enrique Rosales. Rosales was rising on boards. We decided that there were a couple other guys that we went after more, but he could be potentially pretty good. Aaron Nieto, he goes here kind of right around where we think he should have gone, where MLB think he should have gone a little bit early, but Arizona potentially getting a really good starting pitcher. Sherman Shoemaker, just not an athlete. Don't care. Not a professional athlete name. Bad. Just not good. DeAndre Smith, international first baseman from the Orioles, that opt out, but looks like the bat is special. We'll see how special it is after this. Marty Klein, the shortstop, we put a little bit of effort into. It was supposed to go 8 overall, and has fallen all the way down here to 22, and looks like a new shortstop here in Milwaukee. Woodrow Huerta, probably our pick. He goes here at 23. Mark Brady, the number 1 projected guy, he goes all the way down here. I think this back-to-back years where the number 1 projected guy fell, and he was in the last years wasn't very that good. Mark Brady looking to follow suit. George Jackson comes up here to the Yankees. Potentially a decent starting pitcher. We did not like him, so at least good for us watching them make that pick. Jack Warner, same thing. Guy who was expected to go kind of around this area. We had him in the 2nd, 3rd round. He goes here. Roger McDermott, number 9 on the board overall. 12th on our board. He falls all the way down to 27. Estevan Dorda goes earlier than expected. Around the spot, but interesting pick here by Los Angeles. And then Willis Hand goes. Let's kind of check on the board. If we look... we have to go all the way over here. These are the guys who are left over. Some of the guys that we just didn't even give a chance to scout. And obviously, David McCormick seems like the guy. Seems like a lot of these top 10 guys have gone. If you look at top 10 by team rank, this is kind of how it filters out the guys that are left over. Maybe some of these guys we could have kind of thrown flyers at earlier on. Guys like Tim Warren, who potentially could be good, but I don't feel like drafting him here just because we don't really know much about him. Dan Jean, same thing. We would love to get a guy like this, but not really much effort done about him. David McCormick obviously seems like the surefire guy here, just with the potential range. We still have guys like Woody Bernard down the line, Michael Ramo, and these other guys kind of down the board that we think we can get some good value for. So off rip, McCormick feels like the guy. He'd be a few years away. Saying that, maybe do we go with maybe a guy who we haven't really put much scouting into, and just kind of test it and make a bold selection here at 30, hoping that one of these guys is left over. The more I look at Tim Warren, the more I kind of like it. I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to go off script. We're going to draft Tim Warren. 11th on the board, 14th on our board. Didn't put any scouting into him. High school guys can take forever to scout him, but I'm rolling the dice here. We don't have many dice rolls here in the draft, so let's spice it up a bit. Tim Warren, our pick at 30. And we're not going to waste any time. David McCormick still on the board. We are going to draft him and make sure we definitely do get a high-profile player in this draft. David McCormick, welcome to Boston, my friend. All right, looking on the board, actually the guys that we wanted have gone so far. So we really don't have any of our backup guys. Cosmo Leon just went at 102, and we'll kind of find out where the rest of these guys went earlier. We don't have much time to make picks. You look at the prospects, guy like Sean List is the guy. Maybe do go Brent Hollander, but he is hurt. These are the rest of the guys. Andy Linter, potentially a center fielder. We just got one of those guys. Gonna go safe here. We're gonna go Sean List. Man, not the highest potentials, but a guy that can potentially be an end of rotation guy or trade bait pretty easily. But we're kind of gonna go blind here the rest of the way. Here's a guy I was a little interested in and kind of wanted to put a scouting on, but kind of just missed my opportunity. Eddie Zimborski. We're going to draft him from Georgia, 6'4" right fielder. We are going to add to our outfield situation and get Eddie Zimborski here with pick 135. Here in round 5, even though he is injured, we're going to take a shot at Brandon Hollander, a high school pitching prospect, number 80 on our board, not ranked anywhere else. We are going to draft Hollander. Again, not many options left. He is injured. We'll see how much that affects him, but we'll see what's going on. This could be a dud draft, or it could be really, really good. And last but not least, we're going to go Brandon Tuttle, another guy we had not ranked, and we had not ranked that we discovered. Fastball can touch 98. Also offers a two-seamer, sinker, and a changeup. Probably going to add a breaking pitch to him, but we are going to draft Brandon Tuttle. And that concludes first-year player draft. Obviously, we will show how everyone looks in just a moment. I'll have to play the rest of the video to get to that point, but we'll cut it up to front, and we'll see how good our class is. Hopefully, it's really, really good. Actually, before we do that, okay, telling this, we do get to see kind of where everyone went and our guys. So let's kind of just see where these guys potentially went that we had high hopes for, so we can kind of see. So Woody Bernard went to Pittsburgh at 36. Just trying to find some of these guys that we had. Tom Friedman ended up going to Cincinnati. I think these are the updated potentials and all that with the injury, so he was not really good. So I'm glad we did get McCormick. We did get McCormick, which I know is going to be a really good player, which is nice, especially taking that risk in that first round. Really, Schaefer went here at 55. Jungwoo Kwan went here at 56. Another guy we had our eye on. And then obviously we got David McCormick, which is sick. Trying to find some of our other guys that we had on the board. Harold Matlock ended up going 72. So kind of in between where we had him and Major League Baseball had him originally. I think the third round is where we got poached a whole lot. Yeah, Jensen McNeil goes here. We had him high on our board. We go over here. So Michael Ramo went to Miami. So I think they got two of our guys, which is interesting. Stephen Dickens goes here. So again, I guess overall these guys went kind of where they're supposed to. Maybe I was holding out a little bit too much hope that they would fall to us. They kind of went to where they were projected to go at least. But a couple of guys that we were looking at, Joe Nunn went a little early. Maybe he would have been the pick for us, especially looking for first base. And we saw Cosmo Leone went a little bit early, but kind of where he was, probably would have been the pick just with the guaranteed potential. And then Johnny Adams went right after that. So, yeah, so that's kind of where our guys got sniped. But let's move on to see how they end up looking. Well, I guess actually, let's see. Hollander. Yeah, you see those potentials have already shifted down. But that's all right. We'll see these guys in just a minute. All right. So here are our draft picks, and it shows right here we did not sign Tim Warren. He had like 75% scouting interest. We gave him the max. We just couldn't pick up Tim Warren. So interesting. He ended up being 71 and 91 to 71 potential. But unfortunately did not sign our first pick. However, our second pick, David McCormick, ends up being better than we thought. 98 potential, which could be the best in the entire draft. Again, four-seamer at 95 miles per hour, slider, sinker, curveball action. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Is raw, only 60 overall, but instantly becomes probably maybe our top prospect in terms of just pure overall. You know, this is in the Alez, in the Swift, in the Norman, in the Park range of A potential guys we have. I'm extremely excited that we at least got him. He would have been the selection here, but we took the gamble. We waited. Unfortunately, couldn't get Tim Warren signed, who was looking pretty decent, but either way, that is how the cookie crumbles. Sean Liss, he's going to be decent. He's going to be pretty decent right out of the box. 78 potential. I knew that was kind of the cap. What he kind of had going on. I'm fine with it. Eddie Zimborski ended up being 76 potential. Right now, a contact-heavy guy with some good plate skills, decent speed, not much in power or fielding, but 18 years old. We can have him develop and see what he ends up becoming. 76 overall, 57 day one. Brendan Hollander, again, he had the injury. He still throws gas, and that's kind of the reason why I signed him anyway. Just probably is a reliever or a guy that really never breaks it. 75 overall potential, the worst potential we have. And then Brandon Tuttle, we ended up getting four-seam changeup, two-seam sinker. Velocity is fine. Looks like he has a good amount of break and doesn't give up home runs, but he also 18 years old, 54 overall, a decent ways away. Let's check on some of these other guys. We had a couple of guys that we wanted to see. Looks like nothing going on for the Yankees, which is awesome, and nothing going on. Toby Brady ended up being the lower end of his potential, so he's probably capped. Again, like to see guys like this come in out of college, probably is going to go for a roster spot pretty soon, but then it really doesn't have much. I'd like to see a lot more of these guys in the game. I like that. I'm seeing more of them, and obviously a pretty decent profile. That would be a great fielder, but has athleticism, has good contact, and good bat skills. Other than that, nothing really going on. None of our guys we wanted for the Orioles. A nice hit here on DeAndre Smith. It actually isn't that far away from Major League ready, and has some room to grow, which will go mostly into his fielding, but a good bat right away. Alberto Reina ended up being the projected number 1, ended up falling to Toronto at, I think, like 11 or so. He looks pretty decent. 75 overall out of the jump. 89 overall potential is what he has, so that's really, really good. Just a little bit away from a 90. Already 90 fielding. You can play this guy today. Good plate skills, good contact, good speed, fielding exactly where you want for your second baseman. Can play third and the outfield. Yeah, beautiful. Call him up. Have him be there day 1. Josh Fuentes was a guy that we had on our board. He ended up being pretty decent. Same thing, good contact, a bigger arm, maybe third base is where he ends up residing. Again, we did just trade Chicago potential second baseman in Frazier. Maybe this guy moved over to third. Good athleticism, good vision. He's okay. I wouldn't have been mad at making this pick at number 1. Maybe he was the guy we would have gone with. Sherman Shoemaker, bad. Just a bad name. Bad name. Who else are we looking at? Okay draft for the Tigers. Brian Woodward, a guy on our board. Glad we didn't go with him. 71 potential is what he ended up with. Then they missed on signing 2 guys. Woodrow Huerta ended up being pretty decent. 90 overall, really big arm. Could play in the major leagues in terms of arm right now, but is a ways away with the bat. 21 years old. Minnesota don't have to wait on that, but could be a really good player if they decide to wait for him. John Hansen ended up being a good pick for the Astros. Nothing really else. I think Mike Madden we had a decent amount on, but I don't really think we were too crazy. Edgar Ramirez, the number 1 pick in the draft, ended up being bad. Shout out the Angels. They can't get out of their own way. But they do get Alden Webb late in the draft. 91 potential, very, very late. It's going to be a while till he gets up there. They have a couple good outfielders, but they did at least get somebody that's at least decent. Bobby Barrett looks like he's all bat right now. This looks exactly like John Norman that we just took last year, but we have, for us, he had 90-plus potential. This guy, only 81. Nobody else to write home about. A couple decent hits here for Seattle. Roger McDermott and Cosmo Leon was the big one. 87 overall potential. I would have loved to have that in the 3rd, 4th round, but ended up going 3rd round to the Tejas Rangers. Hits lefties really good, but he's still a ways away, just 47 overall, and they failed to sign Kurt Louise. Decent hits here for Atlanta. Jesse Healy ends up being really good day 1. Not a weakness on him. This would have been an excellent pick for us if he fell all the way down to us. But unfortunately, they got him, and they got Michael Ramo at 93 potential. So I would have loved to just have the Marlins draft. They went heavy outfield and then also decent catchers. They got Andrew Salinas as well at 84. Not too shabby. So really, really, really good draft by the Marlins. And they got 2 guys I really wanted, both in the outfield. And Healy is awesome because he's basically just like Brady that we saw earlier for Tampa Bay, but has more room to grow and has a little bit less deficiency. So really good pick there. He could be maybe the best player in this draft if everything goes right. Mark Brady was the number 1 projected pick, ended up falling to, or one of the top 3 projected picks, ended up falling all the way down to like 24 or something like that the Mets had. And he has a really good contact bat out of the rip, especially against righties, but still some work to do. He's only 19 years old, but 84 potential. Okay, Preston Lutz, 99 potential. The Phillies getting an absolute gem. 4-seam, slider, sweeper. 99 potential, man, and this could be really, really good kid. Does have, obviously, a long ways to go, but be careful for Preston Lutz. And they also got Elliot Hillman, who ended up being 89 potential as well, and some good, decent 70 overall guys. Really good draft by Philadelphia. Really good draft by Washington as well. The Nationals, Jonah Lockwood, a guy on our board. Not a guy on our board, but a guy that was supposed to go pretty early. Doesn't throw hard at all. 91 on the cutters, like the top he gets to, but doesn't walk guys, won't strike anyone out because of that, but just keeps the ball in the yard at 89 potential. Jensen McNeil, we also had on our board, 87 overall potential. And Ronald Garcia, 89. So no guys that are going to be helping anytime soon, but everyone at least that mid to high C and a couple high Bs. really good draft, really good back-to-back drafts here in the National League East. Edward Norman looks like a hit for the Cubs. Damian Villanueva, 87 overall, and Gage Perez, 92 overall potential here for the Reds. I keep forgetting teams. I'm looking for right the name. Tom Freeman ended up being 74 potential. He was the guy that was hurt, but so I'm glad we didn't go that way. 19 walks per 9 is tough. Marty Klein ended up being 80 overall. Joe Nunn, a guy we were looking. Look, he was on the high end of his. I would have loved Joe Nunn. Ended up having really good hitting ratings across the board. Probably could play pretty soon. Wasn't going to be waiting. Also a Massachusetts kid, but Brewers got something really good there. He still has 16 points of overall to develop as well, and they got a couple of decent guys around too. Rolando Bruce from Idaho, and Woody Bernard. Woody Bernard was a guy we had on our board. The Pirates ended up taking him, 19 years old. Moldable bat, decent athleticism, still ways away at 51 overall out the jump, but 86 potential. Rolando Bruce, really good first baseman, decent enough fielding. The arm doesn't really matter at all. Speed doesn't really matter at all. Can bunt if you want him to, but excellent hitting right now. Power will come. This is a really good pick. And they also got Steven Dickens, who we ended up not being able to get here in the third round, went right before us, but this would have been perfect. 87 overall potential. We are thinking, hey, maybe we move John Norman to first base to clear up that deficiency. I think he has more of a first baseman profile anyway. But, yeah, they ended up getting that catcher I kind of wanted. Teddy Penn ended up going pretty early to St. Louis, 88 overall potential. Johnny Pena, 92 potential, a power bat in the outfield, and a couple of decent picks here from St. Louis. Nope, Arizona. Sean Luis, the third pick, ended up being not good, especially when looked like he was going to be a pretty good scouted potential. Only 76. 88, 98 was what was projected. 76 is what they ended up getting in him. Dwayne Shabazian throws heat. Yeah, this guy's the coolest player of all time. This is the opposite of Sherman Shoemaker. Dwayne Shabazian. Hall of Fame name, Hall of Fame player. Johnny Adams, a guy that we had on our board and wanted to pick late, ended up being a stud for the Dodgers, especially when they went Estevan Dorda, who I thought had kind of more of a cap potential, and I was like, that was an interesting pick. If you just swap these guys, you're happy with it. High potential guy in the first round, and then a decent bat close to the majors with okay potential, could be a starter for you one day. In the third, you take that. The fact that they got both of them, I don't think it matters where they ended up going now, but yeah, that's interesting draft. The Dodgers always draft well. Tim Gonzalez being 95 potential, which is very interesting. But yeah, that's going to do it. We did get a 98 potential overall guy. We will hopefully find Tim Warren in the future. But yeah, that is how everything kind of squeaked out with prospects. So here are the 2028 MLB All-Stars. First, starting with the American League, starting pitching side, Zach Gallen, Max Fried. It will be held in Yankee Stadium this year, and we will have Max Fried most likely starting that one. For the Pinstripes, Bryson Miller, Brendan Woodruff, and Pablo Lopez. Relief pitcher is Kevin Ginkel, who's been awesome this year. Closing pitchers go like this: Lucas Erceg, Felix Bautista, our boy Felix Bautista, first Red Sox to make an All-Star team. Mason Miller, Emmanuel Clase, Matt Strom, and Edwin Uceta are all All-Stars in the clothing spot. Catchers are Contreras, Logan O'Hoppe, and Blake Sable. Former friend Blake Sable. Who would have thought? We kicked him to the curb. He's having an excellent season, a career year here. Better than his first season in San Francisco, but 9 doubles, 14 home runs, an OPS of 869. Shout out to Blake Sable, I guess, getting a nice little All-Star appearance. Shout out to him. First baseman Rafael Devers, what up, Doe? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as well. Former friend Brendan Donovan having a good season here. 303 average with Minnesota, his second year with the team. 14 home runs, already on pace to shatter what he did the last 2 years. 883 OPS, and did get a nice little contract from the Twins, so he is a Twin for a decent amount of time. Jose Altuve could be the last ride for him, and Luis Rengifo are your second baseman. Alex Bregman, our third Red Sox, and maybe our final Red Sox, probably with Tristan Casas being down, most likely. But we'll see what happens. Does Roman Anthony, he was having a really good season. Does he get in on the list? Alex Bregman gets in there, starting third baseman. Junior Caminero and Jose Ramirez behind him. Bobby Witt Jr. and Jose Caballero are your shortstops. Wyatt Langford, Yordan Alvarez, Brian Reynolds in left field. Julio Rodriguez in center, and Kyle Tucker, Brent Rooker, and Will Brennan in right, with your DHs being Guerrero, Devers, Reynolds, and Altuve. National League, Shane McClanahan, Shota Imanaga, Christian Javier, Aaron Nola, and Paul Skeens are your starters, with Shohei Ohtani being here, but he's mostly for his DH capabilities, but is having a really good year on the bump of 3.28 ERA as well. Dylan Lee is your relief pitcher, with former friend Evan Phillips, Ryan Helsley, Yohan Duran, Peter Hodge, Tanner Scott, and Justin Martinez, your closers. Will Smith, Francisco Alvarez, and Keibert Ruiz, your backstops. Spencer Horwitz, who's having an insane year. Spencer Horwitz thrust himself into the MVP conversations in the National League. Just what a turnaround for the boy. A shout out Spencer Horwitz, I guess. Christian Walker as well, now in San Francisco. Jonathan India, Ozzie Albies, Bryson Stott, and Bryce Terang, your guys at the keystone position. Alec Boehm and Brooks Lee, your third baseman, with Trey Turner and Mookie Betts, your shortstop. Spencer Steer, Jackson Churio, James Wood, O'Neal Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Ronald Acuna make up your outfield, again, with Shohei being the DH. Let's get right into the Home Run Derby, All-Star Game, and Future Stars Game now. All right, here we are in the Home Run Derby. Again, we're not really going to show much of the Home Run Derby. We are in Yankee Stadium, however. These are the participants. Some familiar faces, some good power bats. See Wyatt Langford there, Brent Rooker, Yordan Alvarez, Shohei Ohtani, Fernando Tatis. To go along with them, Bobby Witt, Anthony Santander there, Ryan Ward, and that is your field. Let's see who moves on to round two. All right, so here are our round two. Here's our kind of participants. Anthony Santander against Bobby Witt Jr. Ryan Ward against Fernando Tatis Jr. here in round two. Santander, Fernando Tatis is your final. Who will move on in just a second. And Fernando Tatis Jr. is your Home Run Derby champion. He holds it up in Yankee Stadium. And congratulations to our participants this year and Fernando Tatis. Jumping right into things here in the All-Star Game. And here comes Paul Skeens. This motherfucker won't leave me alone. We do have three representatives, Felix Bautista, Alex Bregman, who does get a start here at third base for the season he is having. Then Rafael Devers, who will be coming in off the bench a little bit later. But those are the numbers for Bregman. 17 home runs already, inside outs himself, and he'll be the first out of inning number 3. Bregman, a little resurgence. It's definitely his best season, probably at least in this part of the year, in a Red Sox uniform. Has had some good success with us in the past, but we decided, you know what, he did well enough. We're not going to pay him $45 million a year, but I was comfortable giving him around 15, 16, and he has come through and really shown here in what it's going to be, his age 35, 34 season, something like that. Two-seamer high is now Christian Javier on the bump, and that is the 0 for 3 that Bregman does end up registering here in the All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. We're going to bring in Bautista, been one of the best closers in the game. 36 innings, a 2 ERA, striking out 33% of batters that he faces. So he comes on for the 9th inning. You're out, and one of them is going to be a strikeout at least. Bregman's going to help him out. Spencer Steer is the out here in the 7th inning. Vlad Guerrero now. Yankee picks it out of the dirt. Spencer Horwitz, who's low-key having an MVP quality type season here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, going to fly out to Julio Rodriguez there in center field. And then O'Neal Cruz comes on to pinch hit, and the first pitch he sees is a splitter that he is picked up by former friend Brennan Donovan. And a quick 1-2-3 inning. No strikeout for Big Felix, but we will take it we will take it. Rafael Devers against Tanner Scott just misses the slider there. And he's also having a Rafael Devers-esque season, 0 for 2, and then nasty slider, paint. And that will do it for our American League All-Star representatives. The American League does go on to win. Class A comes through and shuts it down. Looks like we came back late, and we do pick up the W. But yeah, so 1 inning pitch for Felix Bautista, and 0 for 3 for Alex Bregman, a couple groundouts and a flyout, and then Rafael Devers just missed a home run. You know how sweet it would have been to see him blast a home run in Yankee Stadium in the All-Star break. Would have been so fun. But does ultimately strike out. Yeah, that sucked. But is what it do be. The American League wins against the National League. Mason Miller the win, Yon Duran the loss, and the save to Manuel Clase. Here we are in the minor league futures game, and Julio Sandoval is going to be throwing the pill here for the National League with Dominique Alez, one of 2 representatives. We have both of our catchers, him and John Norman, in the big game here. First pitch from Alez is skied into right field, and putting away is this pudgy motherfucker over there, who we will definitely be changing how he looks, because that's unfair. Dominique Alez, then a slider middle. He absolutely shits on this one into left center field. Running all the way from first base is the runner, and Alez puts the American League on the board 2-1. As Dominique Alez, his swing is just so good. We've seen it in all the minor league stuff. The swing plays better than the attributes, and he comes through with a big base knock here. Drives in the run. We're all happy. You're happy. I'm happy. Alez back out there for a 3rd time and just missed the potential extra bases there. That will be that. John Norman coming in for his first hacks. He's only batting .167, has been in single A for the most part since that prospect video we did an episode ago. But he will ground out for his first at-bat. 1 for 3 with a double and RBI so far. Then Alez is going to get nicked on the elbow. That will be a hit by pitch. He will get on. So that's how his day ends. A 1 for 3, a double, an RBI, and a hit by pitch. And that nasty slider gets John Norman out. And that will do it for his day here. So 1 for 3, a double, RBI, hit by pitch for Dominique Alez. 0 for 2, strikeout from John Norman. Both of those guys representing us here in the Future Stars game, and I'm very excited for them to be representing us in the All-Star game one day soon. All right, our big trade going down. We're here near the trade deadline. We are going to be swinging for a little bit now, a little bit later. Drew Thorpe from the Chicago White Sox has been optioned down to Triple-A, and this year he hasn't really been good in the major leagues, and really in the major leagues in about 99 career starts, he's had one good year, a 25-game stretch in 2027. We had a 3.44 ERA, 87 strikeouts, and 120 innings pitched. His only positive WAR season. Now, you're like, Cody, why are you trading for a guy who clearly sucks? A lot of his metrics aren't good. In that best season, only a 6.5 K per 9, a 5.2 walks per 9, which is a career high, and a home run per 9 of 1.12, a FIP of 5.04. His best year. This year in the major leagues, a lot worse than that. Well, statistically, there are a lot of ratings here that I like. The break is really good. The clutch and control are really good. The hits per 9 are at 97. The rest of the stuff is about league average. So what this tells me is that it's just a matter of, is it good or is it bad? That's really what it is. Doesn't throw it incredibly hard, but we have him under 3 more years of team control. The package we are giving up is Tom Frazier. The big piece in this is Tom Frazier. I thought Bob Hernandez, but I thought that maybe was a little bit too rich, but we will be adding a little bit more than we maybe could or should in this deal, and I'll tell you why. Tom Frazier is a really good bat, power bat against righties and more of a contact bat against lefties, a left-handed bat. They need second base help. He plays shortstop, but with his fielding being the way it is, he's most likely a second baseman for them in the now and future. 22 years old, excited from our second-round pick in 2026. We've been here for a little bit, just as right now, just been in single A, but he has had some double A games, has been getting good development. good plate skills as well. So we're going to send him over to the south side. And also we are sending Tyler Soderstrom. Their first base situation is interesting. Rhys Hoskins here right now is having a great, not a great season, but a 7.64 OPS. Obviously, the power is what the power is. He's interesting in the fact that he has one more year of team control. Though this last year, he's a free agent next year. Luis Ariz is also going to be with them for another year after this. So Soderstrom comes in, maybe platoons with Ariz. They also haven't really gotten the best out of Kyle Teal and Edgar Caro. So we throw Tyler Soderstrom over to them to have an extra year, can catch, can help with first base. We'll make this trade with the Chicago White Sox. So Drew Thorpe will come up here in the starting rotation. He will slot in. I think the corresponding move is, even though Connolly early has been good, we're just going to move him back down to AAA and play it like that. He was awesome in Major League. 10 games, a 3.64 ERA, 5 wins. He's been fine. 43 strikeouts and 47 innings, but also 30 walks in that time. So still get him. The clock has just started. It's only the second option year used. He still has one more year to kind of prove that he is where he belongs. Maybe he's trade bait, but I think we just get a better lefty. We get a better, I think, younger, or at least the same, 27 years old, so kind of near the same age, and we rock with it. So let's see if we make another move. I don't think we will. So we wouldn't normally do this, but I was itching to get some gameplay in on this episode. Itching to see what Drew Thorpe looks like. And we're 13 games over 500. And Drew Thorpe is going to make his, I believe, Red Sox debut, if not the second game. But either way, we felt like this one was a good one to jump into. Against San Diego, seeing guys like Xander, guys like maybe Fernando Tatis, the guy that we try to go get. Jackson Merrill, a good star with the Padres, and just a really good team overall. Here's some trade candidates. We're still not quite past the trade deadline yet. Maybe a big deal comes through at some point. But it's Padres and Red Sox, and the first batter in the Drew Thorpe era is Gary Serna Ruiz, another guy who is an auto-generated guy that's been drafted. And he goes yard. Yikes. Also, I don't know if you noticed that, but just a moment ago, you see the plane go behind the building and then a firework goes off. Not great. Ian Happ is punched out. What chaos. What chaos to begin. What chaos to begin. Fernando Tatis Jr., he swings and misses. Second strikeout, and then Manny Machado is the third punch out. So home run, get up with the first batter, and then follows that off with 3 straight strikeouts. I guess it could be. Maybe this guy is the truth. 1-1 tied up after 1 inning. And then another strikeout. 4 strikeouts in the first 6 batters of the Drew Thorpe era. Then Xander Bogaerts, he's a strikeout victim. So already we have 5 strikeouts, 6 outs, 1 hit, 1 run. A very mixed bag, what we've seen from Drew Thorpe. But what really, I think, separates him from everyone else, just the break on these pitches is phenomenal. And that's what's getting a lot of these swings and misses. He can locate. The break is so nasty. He gets another strikeout here on that big sweeper. Doesn't throw the hardest. Doesn't throw the... his stuff's pretty nasty, and that's why we went out there. Looks like Chicago had him in AAA. A guy who was coming into arbitration, if not already in a year of arbitration, wasn't really turning that corner. A guy that a team like the Chicago White Sox, who aren't very good, are okay moving on from, and that's why we struck when the iron was hot. I think this is a really good player, and if we can get him in our pitching lab and kind of tinker some things, I think this is, especially for the pieces we gave up. I do really like Tim Frazier in that deal. Tyler Soderstrom was kind of a throw-in, and really, I don't know if I forget if I mentioned this when the trade was actually going through, as the Padres tied things up here, and then Luis Campusano is going to dump this one into left field and bring 2 more in. But I could have got up a lot less for Drew Thorpe. It could have just been Tim Frazier and then some, or even Tyler Soderstrom and then like a low-level prospect. But I felt, you know what, we'll give them Frazier. That's a bona fide actual prospect. I think he's going to be pretty good. And then Tyler Soderstrom has potential to, jump up, be really good, or he could probably be cut by the end of the year. Who knows? But that's why we went and made that trade. So especially for the pieces we gave up to get Drew Thorpe, I am not mad at it at all. Serna Ruiz, again, trying for another hit. He will get one, and that will get him on first base. And 0-1 count, Ian Happ flicks it the other way. Duran coming in and making the diving catch. Jarren Duran, what a play by Duran. Let's see this one more time, if you don't say so myself. Look at that. Boom, full extension right into the glove. Great job by Duran. Gets up and fires. Drew Thorpe happy about that. And that will do it after this base hit. I think that will be Drew Thorpe's day. So he gives another hit. This is what his day ends up looking like after all said and done. Just pick up the loss. I will spoil alert. We do lose this one. But 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, or 1 home run, and 8 strikeouts. So Drew Thorpe was nasty early. Things kind of got away from him a little bit later on. And we will return to simulating. The Padres do win this one, but we are ready to face August. We are ready to face September. I think we have retooled enough. We are ready to face head-on the challenges of this American League. And we are going for another World Series title. Can we do it? Let's wrap this thing up right now. So here we are. At the end of July, beginning of August, we just watched Drew Thorpe's debut, which was fun, really. Just, a couple little hits here and there that went the other way, but 8 strikeouts for him, which was awesome. But how did July go for us? Well, Detroit got our number. It was really up and down. We won this Texas series, got swept by Detroit, lost the series to Colorado, won this series against Toronto, swept Minnesota, got swept by the Yankees, swept Chicago, and start 0-1 against the Padres. So I guess it comes out in the wash, but it's weird. We lost a lot of the bad teams and won against a lot of the good teams, which I guess I'd rather, if we were going to have the same amount of wins and losses this way, I guess I'd rather it be that way. But let's check on the standings right now. We are 10 games back of Baltimore. They might be running away with it. And just 4 games up against Tampa Bay. Again, rest of the way, we do play Tampa Bay and Baltimore 2 times and 1 time respectively. So this last stretch should be super important if things kind of stay the way that they look like they'll be staying. In the Central, really tight race between the Royals, the Twins, the Guardians, all within 4 games of each other. And then the Tigers and White Sox are out of it. The West also looks like a 2-man race between the Mariners and the Rangers. With the Astros, Athletics, and Angels out of it. The wild card, we have a nice lead with us and the Twins over the Rangers. Cleveland, Tampa Bay, really the only 2 teams still in the hunt. In the National League East, the Marlins, number 1 team in the East, with the Braves, the Phillies. The Mets are still hanging around. Interesting division, especially once you get to the wild card. The Central as well. You have 4 teams within 4 games of each other. And even the Brewers are out of it. It's only 8 games. It's a less of a difference between the Brewers, the 5th team in the West, in the Central, and the 1st team, than us and the Orioles, who are 1 and 2. The West, obviously, the Dodgers ahead of everybody, with the Diamondbacks and the Giants kind of scratching. And it's the Braves, Phillies, Pirates, Diamondbacks in right now, but the Cardinals are a game out, the Mets a game out, the Giants a game out, the Reds a game and a half out, even the Padres at 6 games under, still only 3.5 games out. So a very interesting National League going on right now. But that will do it here from Tishbury 33 Games. We'll see you next time. We have the rest. I'll probably do some moments here. Again, not too many teams I want to kind of really delve into. Maybe we play a game against like the Cubs, Wrigley, or the Phillies. Maybe even the Angels, who have some players that I like and kind of want to see. But for the most part, we're going to be kind of steamrolling through August. We'll probably get all the way through here and then have Tampa Bay, Baltimore to end it. These last, that 10 of these last 13 games will be probably very crucial. So we'll see where we stand. We might do a good month and a half episode. But we'll see you then here for Tisbury 33 games. Do you like the addition of Drew Thorpe? Do you like that we kind of stayed put for the most part? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. We will see you next time.